Okay, guys, looking at your worksheet from yesterday, you guys are having a problem with ions. So calculating the number of electrons in an ion. So let's talk about what an ion is. An ion is an atom that has lost or gained electrons. So we're only going to add or remove electrons when we're talking about ions. So these charges here at the end of the symbols on the worksheet are talking about electrons, not protons, not neutrons. So we're only changing electrons, okay? So in the worksheet yesterday, you guys were to calculate the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in a balanced atom. That's the first page. Actually, the second page. First page is your name and your period. Second page, we're doing balanced atoms. So your number of protons and your number of electrons are equal. The third page, we're talking about ions, adding and removing electrons. Okay, so let's go over this. We're going to do one of each. We're going to do a positively charged ion, so this is a cation, and a negatively charged ion, or an anion. All right, so I gave you the symbol and the charge. So Ca plus 2. First thing I ask you is, what is the name of the element? So we have to go to the periodic table, and we have to find Ca. Ca is over here in column number 2. It is calcium. Okay. Next question. Number of protons. So how many protons does calcium have? Remember, we are not changing the number of protons. In an ion, you only change the number of electrons. So our atomic number, remember, atomic number tells us how many protons we have. So calcium has 20. Calcium has 20 protons. A lot of you guys are wanting to change the protons. Like you see this plus 2, you're wanting to add 2 protons. If you add 2 protons, you're making titanium. We can't change the number of protons. All right? All right, so next question, number of electrons. This is where we have to add and remove electrons because this is an ion. Remember, cations are positive because they've lost electrons. Okay? So this plus 2 means they've lost 2 electrons. All right, so let's think about this. In a balanced calcium atom, all right, in a balanced calcium atom, we are going to have 20 protons, which are positive, and 20 electrons, which are negative. All right? So this number is telling us that the positives outnumber the negatives by 2. So I have to make the positives outnumber the negatives by 2, but I can't change protons. I can only change electrons. So the way I have to do that is I have to remove 2 electrons. So now my protons are bigger, my positives are bigger by 2, and I didn't change protons, I only changed electrons. So I'm going to have 18 electrons. Okay? My positives are bigger by 2 than my negatives, my electrons. All right, atomic mass. Atomic mass is given to you right here. So 40.078. And right, last one here, number of neutrons. Remember, you have a formula for number of neutrons. It is your atomic mass minus your atomic number, because atomic mass is the number of neutrons and protons. All right, so we have about 40 neutrons and protons. And I know I have 20 protons, so 40.078 minus 20 is going to be 20.078. All right? So that's our cation, which loses electrons. So we lost 2 electrons. Our protons outnumber our electrons by 2. All right? That's why it is a positive 2 charge. All right, let's do an anion. So I minus 1. So first thing, name iodine over here. Next question, number of protons. Again, same process. Atomic number tells us number of protons. Iodine has 53. Again, we cannot change the number of protons, because if we change the number of protons, it's no longer iodine, it becomes something else. All right, number of electrons. We can change the number of electrons. So, in a balanced iodine atom, we are going to have 53 protons, which are positive, and we are going to have 53 electrons, which are negative. All right, so this is the charge of the atom. This atom is slightly negative. It is saying that the negatives are bigger than the positives by 1. All right, so we are going to add an electron. Anions add electrons. So we're adding 1 because it is minus 1. So we have 54 electrons. All right, atomic mass. Again, atomic mass is given to you. It's at the bottom. It is the number of protons and neutrons, and it is 126.904. Last question. Number of neutrons. Again, to find neutrons, we have a formula. Atomic mass minus atomic number. Okay? So, I'm going to break out the calculator here for this one. So, atomic mass, 126.904 minus atomic number, 53. And our number of neutrons is 73.904. Okay? So hopefully this helps. Remember, you can do that worksheet an unlimited number of times until tomorrow night at midnight. So if you're still having problems with this, contact me. Maybe I can help you. All right? You need to be able to do this because Friday you're going to have a quiz where you're going to have to calculate the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in a balanced atom and the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in an ion. Okay? So, get to work.